Hi everyone, I'm Taylor Hudak with acTVism Munich, and welcome back to another Julian Assange case update. Over the years, the U.S. case against WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange has had a series of legal irregularities, including an illegal spying operation, an assassination attempt, and a sitting judge who had close ties to the British military and intelligence apparatus. But in June of 2021, it was revealed in the Icelandic publication Stundin that the U.S. prosecution's key witness, Siggi Thordarson, lied to investigators about Assange in exchange for immunity. And earlier this month, newly released recordings from Thordarson's exclusive interview with Stundin provide more evidence of corruption in the handling of the Assange case.
Sagði þú við FBI
að ég hafi hakkað það?
Já.
Nei.
Og að Assange hafi beðið að hakka það?
Nei.
En af hverju stendur það þá í ákærunni?
Get ekki svaraði.
Er það að þú vilt það ekki eða er það FBI getur ekki svaraði?
Ég get ekki svaraði.
Af hverju getur ekki svaraði?
Af því maður.
Siggi Thordarson volunteered for WikiLeaks in 2010, but was subsequently fired after embezzling more than $50,000 from the organization. According to Stundin, Thordarson, who has a well-documented history of financial fraud in Iceland, misled U.S. investigators claiming that Assange instructed him to hack or commit computer intrusions, claims that Thordarson now says are false.
Þeir segja bara við þig, hérna staðan og þeir teikna hann upp. Sú teikning ekkert sérstaklega falleg, samkvæmt mínum heimildum. Og jafnvel einmitt þá voru þeir að fara bara benda þér á að þú væri bara að fara í fangelsi, ekkert eftir langa tíma.
Nei.
Ef þú myndir ekki svara spurningum FBI og vinna með FBI í þessu. Þú ert þá svolítið panikaður á þeim tímapunkti.
Ég horf ekki á þessum hótum.
Ok.
Af því að stating the obvious ekki endilega hótum.
Já, en af því það sem ég finnst að lögreglan á Íslandi í raun og veru að segja við þig, við látum íslenska hlutina hverfa,
Já.
FBI lætur bandaríska hlutina hverfa og þú gerir immunity deal við bandaríkjamenn, þá sleppum við hér heima öllu sem að getur komið þér í vandræði.
Ég veist það ekki.
And despite this revelation, Assange remains in Belmarsh prison without charge, and the U.S. continues to prosecute this case. In July 2021, a senior high court judge, Mr. Justice Jonathan E. Swift, granted the U.S. limited permission to appeal Judge Vanessa Baraitser's decision, which blocked the U.S. extradition request. In his decision, Justice Swift denied the U.S. the ability to revisit the factual findings on appeal. According to Stella Mora's campaign update, Swift found that Judge Baraitser had rightly relied on expert evidence and supported her assessment on the integrity of the expert witnesses. But during an August 11th preliminary appeal hearing, Judges Timothy Holroyd and Judith Farby reversed this decision, granting the U.S. full permission to appeal Judge Baraitser's ruling. During the August 11th hearing, the Crown, representing the U.S. government, argued to reintroduce 2 additional grounds for appeal, which revisit the factual findings in the case.
The US government is exploiting the inherently unfair arrangement between the US and the UK. They're exploiting the inherently unfair extradition arrangements with this country in order to arbitrarily prolong his imprisonment. The imprisonment of an innocent man accused of practicing journalism.
The Crown sought to discredit defense witness, psychiatrist Michael Koppelman, whose testimony was referenced in Judge Baraitser's decision. Koppelman evaluated Assange in prison and determined that he has autism spectrum disorder and clinical depression, and therefore is at an increased risk of suicide if extradited. Based on part of this testimony, Baraitser determined it would be oppressive to extradite Assange to the United States given his poor mental health condition. In her decision, Baraitser referenced Professor Koppelman's testimony, stating, "Professor Koppelman is an experienced neuropsychiatrist with a long and distinguished career. He has taken great care to provide an informed account of Mr. Assange's background and psychiatric history. I had no reason to doubt his clinical opinion." During the hearing, the Crown argued that the weight given to Koppelman's testimony should be revisited. This is due to Koppelman's decision to not disclose the existence of Assange's fiancée and 2 youngest children in his first report to the court. However, Koppelman withheld this personal information in order to protect Assange's family, whom he felt could be at risk. Judge Baraitser acknowledged that Koppelman should have disclosed this information to the court, but found it was an understandable human response to Mora's situation.
What has not been discussed today is why I feared for my safety and the safety of our children and Julian's life. The constant threats and intimidation that we have endured for years, which has been terrorizing us and has been terrorizing Julian for over 10 years. The threats against me, threats against our children, death threats against Julian's eldest son, Daniel. Threats on Julian's life, threats of a 175-year prison sentence, and the actual ongoing imprisonment of a journalist for doing his job. These are sustained threats to his life for the past 10 years. These are not just items of law. This is our lives. We have the right to exist. We have a right to live. And we have a right for this nightmare to come to an end once and for all.
The U.S. government's decision to pursue this case continues to be increasingly unpopular. Human rights organizations, including Amnesty International and Reporters Without Borders, renewed their call for the United States to drop the charges against Julian Assange.
We're calling on the US government to drop the charges against Julian Assange. The Department of Justice should not be proceeding with this case, and it's in their gift to call off this case.
We call again on the US government to drop this case. Julian Assange should be immediately released. He should certainly not be extradited to the United States. We repeat our position that he has been targeted for his contributions to public interest reporting. He should not be in this position, and we retain serious concerns about the state of his mental and physical health in Belmarsh prison. He should be allowed to go home to his family. He should not be detained as this appeals process drags on.
Additionally, several major press freedom organizations issued statements in defense of the WikiLeaks founder. This includes the International Federation of Journalists, Freedom of the Press Foundation, Committee to Protect Journalists, the European Center for Press and Media Freedom, PEN International, and the Global Network for Press Freedom. The full appeal hearing will take place on October 27th and 28th in the UK. acTVism Munich will continue to cover this case and is dedicated to keeping you informed on the latest developments. Please make sure that you are subscribed to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you are notified each time we post a new video. As an independent organization that takes no money from any corporation or state government, we rely on your support to keep us going. So please donate to our organization so we can continue with our public interest journalism. I want to thank you all for watching this Julian Assange case update. I'm Taylor Hudak with acTVism Munich, and I'll see you in my next report.